Hi loves, so today we're going to be doing a little makeup tutorial because I feel like there hasn't been one in so long. So we're going to just be doing kind of like a drugstore with a little bit of mix of high-end makeup, and this is just to achieve the perfect everyday base. To start off with my eyebrows, I usually do fill them in with the Morphe little eyebrow stick, but today we're doing something a little bit different for you guys. I want to see if there's a difference between filling them in and not. See how they're a little bit lighter? I just hope the complexion doesn't look too different. I like using makeup primer. I did already do like my skincare and everything. So the primer that we're going to be using is the Maybelline Grippy Primer. It is so good. It is up to a 24-hour makeup grip primer with 2% of cinnamide. I have loved using this clearly. And ooh, I usually feel like I can't really finish my products sometimes, but I have been able to obviously get through this much. So I'm feeling really happy about that. While we let that set, I do want to share with you guys that for my eyebrows to set them, I did use the e.l.f. eyebrow gel. I have been using this for so long and it is just so good. I feel like it is so slept on, but it is chef's kiss. For foundation today, we're going to be using the Maybelline foundation. This is one of the foundations that I always end up going back to when I just can't find a foundation that is suiting me very well. So this is the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. This is in the shade 220. Hopefully it is still my shade. Before we begin anything else, I do want to go ahead and get rid of the imperfections that I do have on my face. I do have quite a bit of acne. It has gone down significantly within the last week, which I'm so happy about. But this is again the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This used to be such an OG for me. This is in the shade 25. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dip in and we're just slowly gonna be covering all my black spots and all my redness that I have. But trust me guys, it was so much worse last week and I'm like so happy that the acne is slowly going away. I don't like wetting my beauty blenders as much anymore, so that's kind of a pro tip. I usually just like using it dry and then using some setting sprays. For the setting spray, we're going to be using the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray by Charlotte Tilbury. This has honestly grown on me. I did not want to fall for this propaganda of buying it, but it honestly, it does everything. This one I like to use because it's nice and wet, so I can add it to my beauty blender. The second setting spray that I like using is the L'Oreal Infallible. This one is so good. I usually use this when I have like a big event or I need my makeup to last for a really long time. And a combination of these two is like the best thing that could have happened. Okay, we're gonna go in and we're just going to start covering up all of our little imperfections that we have. Now time to go in with our foundation. For the foundation, I am going to be using one of my Real Technique brushes. This is in the 12.3. I got this one at TJ Maxx. For foundation, I'm not even going to put that much on my hand, just about that much. We're going to start dabbing it in. And you can automatically just tell how nicely this foundation sits onto the skin. I always like to start off with a small drop of foundation because I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to be using all of it. But what I've kind of started picking up on is usually the first dot that I put on my face, it covers one side. So then I have to go back in and do a little bit more, just like that. Go in, start covering. If we're going into hardcore details about makeup, I have to consistently be cleaning my hands and then consistently cleaning my lips because I do not feel comfortable. The next thing that we're going to be going in with is we're going to be going in with concealer. The first one that we're going to go in with is again the one that we were using to cover up our pimples. So we're going to use shade 25. Again, this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. Go ahead and start applying this. And I always like to get it on the eyelids. Not a lot of people do that. I like doing it because if not, I'm going to get a crease. And I hate creasing. And it has taken me a long time to perfect these non-creaseless eyes. We're going to go in with our beauty blender again. I sprayed it with some Charlotte Tilbury spray. I don't let mine set as much as the other girlies. It's a thing that I don't really like. I let it set just a little bit while I'm spraying, and then I go in and we're already getting that concealer blended in. Everyone to their own. Usually for concealer, I either use a brush or I use a beauty blender. It kind of just depends how I'm feeling that day. I want to say that the beauty blender does a really good job, but then if you do a mix of both, like if you do the brush and then the beauty blender, it works just as well. So on this side we did the beauty blender to blend out. Beautiful finish. And I like bringing the concealer up. Using one of these brushes that I got from Amazon. Go in Beautiful. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. This one is in the shade 120. This is another OG product that I used to use all the time in high school. I'm gonna go in just the same way, and it's like double the concealer. For this, I do want to just use the Beauty Blender. Let it sit a little bit. Y'all need to comment down below which concealers are your favorite. But since this is mainly a drugstore video, I'm using all of my drugstore OG products. I forgot how good the drugstore is, but I feel like this day and age, the prices at the drugstore are almost the same price as high-end makeup. So at this point, everything's about the same price. Kind of brighten up a little bit. Always make sure to get some on the nose, because remember when we were doing our foundation, we barely dabbed it. I don't really like dabbing it with the brush of foundation, besides just a little bit, because I like the center of my face to be nice and bright. Now that everything is set with the foundation and the concealer, I always have to set it in. Let it melt in. Beautiful. For concealer, I love using the Wet n Wild contour stick. This is in the shade Where's Walnut. This is only $5, if not less than $5. It's looking a little rough because I kind of broke the top and it like went all over the place and stuff. But this is such a good concealer. Lovely. What I am going to do right now is kind of just rub off the top a little bit. I'm going to go in and start contouring the nose. A little like that. Perfect. That's about as much as I do. As you can tell, it's literally just sculpting everything out. I've had questions in the past like, oh, like I don't really contour, like what do you recommend? I contour because I do feel like my nose is very huge, and I feel like I like having a sculpted face. So with the contouring, what that does, it kind of just really narrows everything out. Kind of like if you use a gua sha, you know, when you're using your gua sha, it's so you can make your jawline more prominent. So think about it that with your contour, you're making your face more defined and prominent, whether that be for your cheekbones or your actual jaw. Sometimes I do put directly the contour stick on my jaw, but lately I just use what's left over from the contour that I've already used for my cheekbones and my forehead, and I use that to put it at the bottom. Oh guys, my camera's about to die. Okay. And as you can tell, this is very pigmented. And look at the emphasis on these cheekbones. Our next step is that we're going to be going in with some liquid blush. You guys, I have been loving this blush from e.l.f. It is so freaking good. So we all know that e.l.f.'s liquid blushes are super pigmented. This is in the color Cheeky Lychee. This one is super pigmented. When I was trying it out for the first time, I completely forgot that e.l.f., you know, it's very pigmented, and I put more than a large dot. I put more than like the small dot that you're supposed to, and everything just went crazy. But besides the point, this is the color that she's giving. It's just such a beautiful color. So remember, very lightly. Just like that. We're gonna go in very subtle at first, and then if I'm not satisfied with how much blush is on, then I'm gonna put in more. But this already is nice and cute. It's giving shyness, it's giving shy girl, like kind of like strawberry dream. I feel like I do want a little bit more blush, so we're gonna go in with another little dot real quick. When I'm doing my blush, I like to make sure that it's going up. Again, sometimes it just depends how I'm feeling, but I really will just do all of the cheek. But over the years, I have learned that your blush is supposed to be a little bit closer to your contour. So that is why I like doing it like this now. It has taken me quite a time to find a setting powder in the drugstore that I actually like. There is two that I had been wanting to try, which is this NYX one, which is the Wonder Snatch powder, and then I believe it was either Maybelline or Revlon, and then I believe it was either Revlon or Maybelline that had a powder as well. But this is the one that I found to have been working better, and I still need to try the other one, but for sure this one is good. I would honestly say that this powder is a good dupe to the Huda Beauty one. Yes. This, a dupe for this. Mind you, this is $40. This is like $10. You're saving $30. And this is in the shade Cheeky Cherry. Alright, it's about to get messy, you guys. Look at that. We're going to be using one of Beauty Blender's little powder puffs. These I found at TJ Maxx. They're so good. But recently I haven't been finding anymore. I don't know why. But this one is so good. This is how it looks on the side. I love it, I love it, I love it. Another thing that's different with me, if I hadn't disclosed at the beginning, I do have very oily skin when it comes to the summer months and the hot months. So for me, I set powder like I did in 2016 still. And I will not let anyone judge me for that. A lot of the girlies that I've seen recently, they just use like a brush and they set off a little bit. No girl, like I have to do it hardcore. This is just one of the Japanese brushes that I bought from TJ Maxx. These brand brushes are so good. For now, I'm just going to be dusting off around the eyes, but I'm not under the eye. Sorry, it's a little crazy. For bronzer, we're going to be using the Physicians Formula bronzer. This is in the shade Endless Summer. I have been using this bronzer for the longest. Have never changed up on it. You can't tell me otherwise. I want to say up until now, I haven't found something that has met up to this level. I take that back. There's 2 bronzers that I use religiously. Physicians Formula was my baby, but then when I met NYX, they have some pretty great stuff, and I'll be sharing that with you guys. This one is in Butted Down. This is just as good, yes, and it is just a little bit darker, so I'm kind of going to show you how it looks. This is the shade that we're dealing with. Do a little bit. Again, from NYX, this is going to be one of the first ones we use. This is Getting Butter. This is more of like a pinky, a little bit more on the pinky darker side, and I feel like it does match the lychee color pretty well. Okay, and then the second one that we're going to be using is a blush that looks like I have just abandoned it. It's from Essex. It's just that the fact that the container broke and then it fell out of the pan. So this is really what I'm just dealing with. Literally just that. So if we do a comparison, I feel like when you combine these 2 powders, we're going to get a really good mix. Start off kind of with the more mauve one. And go in, girl. Oh my goodness, this is literally beautiful. We're going to go in with the more pinkier one to kind of neutralize the colors. Look at how beautiful this is. I have blush blindness, so yes, I do use a lot of blush. And yeah, I'm just that type of girl. Now we cannot forget about the eyes. As you can tell, they're dull. They need a little bit more of life. So what I like doing is when I use bronzer, I like to grab the bronzer, get a little bit of that shade, and just put it on my eyes. Not even trying to do eyeshadow, but just so your eyes have a little bit more of definition. Using the Charlotte Tilbury spray again. Okay. Time to clean off the lips. Curler eyelashes. This is an eyelash curler from Revlon. And then my favorite mascara is using the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara. Every girly knows what this mascara is. Hard at the lashes, so. I'm here to help guide me. And then make sure that when you're applying your mascara, the first time you do it to the top. So the telescopic mascara, it's meant to lengthen your eyelashes. So that's what I use it for, which is why it's the first base, and that's why I try to use it only on the tops of the eyelashes. Although this is a very rosy look, I find myself gravitating more towards darker lip colors and then kind of lightening them up. So the first one that we're going to be using as a lip liner is from e.l.f. and this is in the shade Dark Cocoa. A quick tip is that when I do my lip liner, I put the moisturizer like I'll put on chapstick so it's nice and moisturized, and it kind of lightens up the color. I'm gonna outline the lips, and you see how it doesn't go that crazy. With one of NYX lip glosses, this is in the shade Brownie Drip. It is a little bit darker, so we're very lightly gonna go in. Just like that. And that's our little lip combo. I do have some acne right here. The eyelashes are done drying just a little bit, so I like to go back in and curl them. A lot of people recommend not to, but that's just me, girl. Go in, curl one more time. And now you have super curly lashes. I'm going with Paradise Big Deal again from L'Oreal Paris. And this is to add a little bit more of a spoof to the lashes and make it look fuller. Alright loves, and this is our finishing look. As you can tell, The skin is looking nice and radiant, even though I have a little bit of acne. The eyebrows aren't filled in and they look just as good. And the eyelashes are popping. What do you think, loves? I'm loving it. Obviously, to do the grand finale, if this were makeup that I was going to be wearing all day, especially if you're like a corporate girly or if you're a nurse like me and you like doing a full face of makeup, this is what you're going to be using to set it in for the whole night. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like hairspray to your face. Okay, she's done. I love doing this look with you guys so much. I really hope you enjoyed this little makeup tutorial, and I hope I start doing more. Let me know in the comments below if you would like for me to do just a full high-end face of makeup, because I can definitely do that for you guys too. Love you guys so much. See you in my next video.